overwhelmed with planes. Watch this, guys. This is the best part of the show. Zoom you out.
The sound of the bombs as the Imperial Japanese Navy approaches. And with the break in formation, launches from Japan's first air fleet, led by Japanese Captain Fushida. The unprovoked surprise attack was so complete that the coded success signal Tora 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 was sent back to the carrier task force before the first bombs fell. A single remote radar station had spotted the incoming raiders, but mistook them for a flight of B-17s due in from the mainland. The B-17s arrived, and like America herself, find themselves in a war that had not yet been declared. The attack was from the Japanese aircraft carriers Akagi, Akaga, Hiru, Suru, and the two new carriers, the Shokuku and the Suifu. They quickly found themselves in the middle of a real battle. These two pilots caught up with the Japanese close to Pearl Harbor and Hickam Field and engaged the Zeros, Valves, and Kates with rounds from their .30 caliber machine guns. However, they quickly ran out of ammunition. Luckily, they were able to land at Wheeler Field, which is near the center of the island. They refueled and reloaded with 30 and 50 caliber ammo and took off once again. The two pilots are credited with downing a total of 6 Japanese aircraft. Both pilots received a Distinguished Service Cross for their actions that infamous day. A total of 502 U.S. planes were on the ground at the beginning of the attack. Sadly, 188 were totally destroyed, 159 damaged, and 155 aircraft lay on the ground in various stages of disrepair. Right in front of you, show center, is our P-36 Hawk. The first wave of 189 Japanese Zeros, Valves, and Kates hammered the wire almost enough. Then came the second wave of an additional 171 aircraft to continue the strafing, bombing, and dropping of torpedoes for yet another 70 minutes. Yes, that's a total of 360 enemy warplanes. As the attack proceeded up Pearl Harbor and Hickam Field, the devastation was horrifying. On the eastern edge of Fort Island, in the center of the harbor, 9 battleships lay at berth. The California, Oklahoma, West Virginia, Tennessee, Maryland, Nevada, Pennsylvania, Utah, and Arizona. Luckily at the time, 3 Pacific aircraft carriers were at sea. First, the Japanese hit the Kate torpedo bombers. The initial wave of Kates hit 5 more battleships, the Oklahoma, Arizona threw her forward magazines and exploded, torching off more than 1 million pounds of gunpowder. Sailors on the Nevada watch in horror as the Arizona jumped 20 feet in the air and broke in two, forever entrapping 1,178 American servicemen in an She was saved in less than 3 minutes, and still today she remains at the bottom of the harbor in a watery grave, crying black tears as a reminder to all who lost their lives and live to this day. Tora, Tora, Tora. At Marine Corps Air Station Ewa, Private First Class Bellman Thompson was on guard duty when 9 Zeros attacked the base. He stepped out of his guard shack, drew his 45 caliber pistol, and began firing on the enemy planes. The Japanese pilot, Michiu Shiga, saw Thompson firing back at them. Years later, he remembered Thompson's tenacity and fighting spirit, describing the lone Marine as the bravest American I've ever seen. Show center right now is our Cape Torpedo bomber. All over the island, our soldiers were bringing their weapons to bear and fight. Anything they could get working. 45 caliber pistols or Springfield rifles, and in some cases, our soldiers were able to get 30 and 50 caliber belt-fed machine guns into action, bringing down numerous marauding Japanese Zeros, Bells, and Capes. Meanwhile, at Bellows Airfield, on the northeastern coast of the island, more U.S. Army pilots were racing to their T-40s. Unfortunately, these Japanese Zeros appeared at the same time and started straining around. One P-40 pilot was killed as he stepped in his cockpit. Two other P-40s were shot down instantly. The Flight 12 B-17s coming were immediately attacked by the Zeros. Unfortunately, in all the confusion, the B-17s were shot at by friend and foe. One of them in a pilot not far from Lakeland. A B-17 pilot, Major Landon, trying to land, said what a hell of a way to enter a war. Out of gas, unarmed, and no place to land. Basically, though, even the B-17s actually made it to Hickam-Field. Yes, we've taken you back to that fateful day, December 7th, 1941. Tora, Tora, Tora. At the conclusion of the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, more than half of America's entire naval fleet had been destroyed or damaged. Nearly 2,400 Americans were killed, over 1,200 wounded, and at the time, 960 people were missing. 188 aircraft were destroyed, 159 damaged, just 155 aircraft lay on the ground. 2 battleships were destroyed, 3 light cruisers, 3 destroyers, and a total of 6 battleships were damaged. Our greatest naval base lay in ruins, along with our complacency. The following day, December 8, 1941, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt announced our entry into World War II with these words to Congress, the citizens of the United States, and the world.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan. It will be recorded that the distance of Hawaii from Japan makes it obvious that the attack was deliberately planned many days or even weeks ago. The attack yesterday on the Hawaiian Islands has caused severe damage
Quick question.
to American naval and military
On the
forces.
other side.
No matter how long it
It's on the
may
other side
take us
Is it really? Yeah, you gotta
to
drive.
overcome
See
this
this road, drive around, and
premeditated
tell you
invasion,
how to get to it.
the American people in their righteous might will win through to absolute victory.
Admiral Yamamoto, the mastermind of the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, said, "I fear all we have done is to waken a sleeping giant and fill him with terrible resolve." Well, he was right. In the 44 months of fighting that followed, the United States sank every one of the Japanese aircraft carriers, battleships, and cruisers that were part of the Pearl Harbor Task Force. Nagasaki, the city where the special armor-busting bombs were made, was destroyed by a U.S. atom bomb on August 9, 1945. And a little less than a month later, when the Japanese surrender document was signed on September 2nd, among the U.S. warships present in Tokyo Bay was our battleship, the West Virginia. Would you please bow your head and join me in a moment of silence in memory of all of those that lost their lives that infamous day? Thank you. God bless America. We do not mean to glorify war by this demonstration. We simply honor a time when our nation was strong and united, patriotic. In the 3.5 years after this attack, we, the people of the United States, grew stronger by putting 16 million men in uniform, built 100,000 fighter aircraft, 98,000 bombers, 24,000 transport planes, 58,000 trainers, 22 aircraft carriers, over 1,000 other floating ships from battleships to submarines, and countless of thousands of ground vehicles. The United States of America's dedication led to the surrender not only of Japan, but Nazi Germany as well, giving peace and freedom to the entire world. We do this in appreciation of that dedication, determination, and effort, and extend our appreciation to the men and women fighting for our freedom today. We salute them all, past and present. Tora, Tora, Tora. How you like that, huh? The Wall of Fire, presented by the Tora Bomb Squad, led by Gordon Webb of Springport, Michigan, and Ben West of Madison, Wisconsin. Today we had actor out there, Derek Feller. He was in Baby Daddy and the Naughty Nine Disney movie where he played a pilot, so that's kind of cool. He set off our Wall of Fire today. So our pyro team is spread across the United States, and I'd like to salute them. They have been out here since early this morning setting up. Caleb West, Chad Bosworth, Jim Cool, Willie Hooper, Victoria Harrington, Tammy Morris, Nick DeJesus, Amber Johnson, Aaron Hales, John Wolf, Shannon Jones, Tammy Morris, Larry Grappentine, Zach Stowe, Sophin Say, Jaylee Crum, Mandy McDonald, and Mike Harrington. Let's give them a round of applause. Awesome job. If you like that, wait till tonight.
We'll be here tonight.
Our pilots to you. So incoming from your left.
From your left.
Tora lead and 0115, flying for 20 years, Doug Durr, of the Woodlands, Texas. Followed by 0114, second generation pilot, flying for Tora for 20 years as well, Pearland, Texas. 0111, second generation pilot, flying for 20 years as well, Bayou Vista, Texas, Patrick Hutchins. 0113, flown by Mike Anderson of Muskogee, Oklahoma. K313 was flown by Lance Summers of Midland, Texas, and Chad Tuman from Caroline, Texas. Our K356 was flown by Trevor Henson and Joe Savage, Titusville, Florida. 0112, Ron Wright, flying for Tora for over 35 years. He's from Huntsville, Texas. Last but not least, is our P-36 Hawk flown by my husband, Chris Walker, Palestine, Texas. Let's give them all a round of applause. Awesome. Air show showcase our military forces. It's an excellent opportunity to highlight Sun and Fun and their 50 years and the city of Lakeland. It's a chance to promote community relations, which is so vital and important for continued success. But more than anything, it's a chance to give you a glimpse into the extraordinary capabilities of our nation's people and equipment. With our little history lesson here, Tora's purpose is to highlight the advancement of our military capabilities from the 1940s to what you see today. December 7th, 1941 was a pivotal moment in world history. Europe had been on fire for already 2 years, and despite the best efforts of some incredibly sharp people, we did not have the most professional and powerful military. Because of that lack of foresight, planning, and commitment, the sons and daughters of this nation paid a terrible price. We think that's worth remembering, and hope you do as well, lest we forget. Tora 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 is a part of the Commemorative Air Force, an organization dedicated to preserve in flying condition one of every American military aircraft that served the U.S. during World War II. All of our team members are volunteers, and we love what we do. We would love for you to follow us on social media and visit our website at toratoratora.com for more information on our show schedule. Once again, a big salute to Sun and Fun, and congratulations on 50 years. And for letting us perform for you today. I'm Denise Walker, standing here with Trevor Henson's parents, and we are all together, Tora, Tora, Tora.
Hey, thanks for all the likes. If you're watching the replay and you're seeing us later, you guys can
All right, Brittany and Chris.
do me a favor, smash that like button. It helps.
Denise, thank you so much again, Tora, Tora, Tora. I don't know about you, I was jumping.
I have a little concern.
Oh boy.
Not going to be easy after all this. All that smoke and everything to get through. Airport security on Monday. I think I may just leave these clothes behind. Outstanding, and you can see why it's award-winning. And that commemorative Air Force aspect is going to be saluted now, too, with some venerable warbirds as you see them getting ready on the taxiway to take to the sky. Each of them have a story, of course, and it's all about preserving the past. Tora, Tora, Tora. Landing now, the last couple of aircraft safely back on the ground, and then we've got so much more coming up here. Commemorative Air Force aircraft, various aircraft getting ready to take off. Then to the 5th gen fighter and the future, the F-35 Lightning demonstration team. Gentlemen, Jim Pite and some aerobatics in a bonanza. Kevin Coleman and his aerobatics. Jack Aces and a couple more P-51s. Michael Goulian before he inspires you at the hangar at 5 tonight, and then we turn things over to the Thunderbirds. Give a huge wave of appreciation to our Tora, Tora, Tora pilots.
What an incredible display, and of course the wall of fire. Now Denise briefly mentioned it, but you have seen nothing yet because we are going to finish out the day. We're not even halfway through, Rick. And we're going to take this into the night, and it is going to be even more spectacular with the pyro.
And we're not done with that today yet either. In they come. 1969, the original Tora, Tora, Tora movie. A lot of the conversions from mostly T6s.
Okay, the connection is not too good here. We're going to stay live all day.
Picked up.
Let's try and find you a better spot.
Patrick's dad passed away a little while ago. Lived a great life, though. A really good life.
Sometimes just moving the tripod is all it takes.
You see that they could put this together and put together into a story that should never be forgotten. And so that we'll always remember. And it's won awards, and you see why now. So happy to have them as part of the 50th.
It got worse, didn't it?
Tora, Tora, Tora.
And a friendly reminder, ladies and gentlemen, as we continue through the show, this is a great opportunity to reapply the sunscreen and stay hydrated. We have a bit of a breeze coming in, and sometimes we forget how hot and sunny it is. And you guys, I have a special guest up here.
Speaking of
a
hot,
very tall special guest up here.
You're fighting not to say
I
hot.
know,
You can
I
say
know.
hot if you like.
But first you have to come to the very short special guest, which would be me, Steph Strickland. So speaking of things that are hot, we just took Derek Wheeler, our Hollywood celebrity friend, birds. Give us a little sample of what you experienced.
It was very intense. I have so much more respect for all of our pilots here. I'm an adrenaline seeker. I love roller coasters, but I could not hang up there in the F-16. I was feeling rough, but luckily I got through most of the paces and we got to, get in formation with the team. It was the ride of my life, but it was difficult.
This is where the fat guy comes up beside you and gets to talk to you about healthy living. So, you are a physical specimen, to say the least. I had to get everybody away from you and even get close to you. 6'5", 5'4", but you live with type 1 diabetes your entire life, so you've got to take care of yourself. Tell me a little bit about that. You're trying to save me.
I've been type 1 diabetic my whole life. I've really tried to promote healthy living, and the main message I like to promote is people with type 1 diabetes or any type of disability or anything like that can achieve their goals no matter what's holding them back. Me getting this opportunity to get an F-16, I never thought I would get that, and it's been a lifelong dream, and I'm just trying to live my best life and show that type 1 diabetes or any other disability doesn't have to hold you back.
Outstanding. Well, thank you for sharing that with us and your experiences. I know you've shared on social media, and you'll never forget.
I definitely won't, and hopefully the internet won't either, because I'm having the best weekend ever. I hope everyone out there has a good time too.
All right. Thank you, Stephanie Strickland, and all of those who've been taking care of our social media. And we've got our fighters in the sky. And the F-35, so that you get the money shot, you get the shot of the 5th gen fighter as the World War II fighters fly over top. Get your cameras ready. Look at what we've got going on here as the F-35 and these wonderful commemorative Air Force. There's the SPD, the Navy, flying over in the dive bomber, leading the way. Double Trouble 2. Steve-O in, speaking of movie stars, Steve, of course, worked with Tom Cruise, teaching him how to fly his B-51. They have a lasting friendship out of that, as you can well imagine. Up above, we've got a P-51. We've got fighters in the sky. We're getting more in the sky, and we're putting it all together so that you can see them at various levels and get a chance to experience this history.
And ladies and gentlemen, we will tell you a little bit about each of the aircraft that you see in front of you. You heard the SPD, the Dauntless, coming show center right now.
C-45, of course, and the Navy version of that. We've had our jumpers, the Patriot jump team, jump from a platform like that this morning. Beechcraft, these twin tails. There's some great examples. In fact, this, I believe, was the jump plane today.
I think so.
And we've got several of them back there in the vintage warbird area.
And the beach built a total of 4,526 of these aircraft for Army Air Forces between 1939 and 1945.
The Commemorative Air Force. They're here in big numbers again this year. Down Warbird Alley. A chance for you to see them and hear them talk about them. And a great look at the B-51 right now, and I think that's Gunslinger.
A nice gentle wave coming through.
Iconic. Beautiful. There's the Dauntless again.
Light bomber and reconnaissance aircraft.
An open cockpit at the rear-facing gunner. T-34, Mentor Bush, this coming up after the war. Training pilots for Korea and others. Venerable T-6 trainer, the advanced trainer that trained so many. For the Second World War, these young pilots, after getting their advanced training on the T-6 Texan, the SNJ, the Navy version, the Harvard Commonwealth Air Training Program.